What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Wave Magnetik here, and I'm back with another tutorial. Yeah, I know it's been a minute since I gave one of these tutorials, but sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with ideas on like what I should be doing, because I don't know. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, what should I do? What should I do? But now I have an idea. So I'm going to try something new where I do track breakdowns. So I'm going to remake different songs, and I'm going to try and do this at least once a week for some new song that came out. And today I'm going to do how to remake Martin Garrix' Hold On. And yeah, so let me go ahead and get into it. So this is kind of a cool song. It's like it's an EDM joint. Yeah, so the main melody of this song, it sounds like this. Well, really, you know what? Let's just listen to it. This is how the whole thing sounds together. So that's pretty much the drop of his song. So, yeah, the main sound that's carrying this is that lead sound right here, and I'm making a point to do this in just Ableton's stock plugins. You know, a lot of these sounds you can make with just Ableton stuff. Ableton's pretty powerful. And I'm going to make a point to do these remakes with just using Ableton stuff. Because Serum is great, and Massive is great, and all the different things are great. But you can get pretty doggone far with just the Ableton stuff. So the sound is right here. And it's really simple. This is just like a sawtooth wave. So right here, you go into basic shapes. I use the wavetable plugin. So basic shapes, I got to set to sawtooth. That's set regular. And then I have another sawtooth, which is an octave lower. And I just turned the volume down on that so it's not so loud. When it was too loud, it didn't sound quite like Martin Garrix's song, so I had to turn that down a little bit. And this filter right here really isn't doing much. It ain't really doing anything at all. The way this sound really comes together is the detune. So right over here, you can pick what kind of detune you want. I picked the shimmer, and you just turn the voices up, and then you get that sound. So check it out. So I'm going to turn the detune off, and you can hear what it sounds like. Actually, you know, let me turn everything off, because I put a couple things on it. So, which, you know, is kind of plain Jane. I mean, it sounds like you were playing like Ninja Gaiden back in the 90s. So you turn this detune on, or the unison on, and I put it up to 7 voices, and then you just mess with this until you get the sound you're looking for. So I had it around 26, and then the sound was like super washed out in reverb. So all you got to do, put some reverb on it. And yo, Ableton stock reverb is kind of dope. A lot of people hate on it, but it has a sound, and it sounds good. I mean, people be tripping. I don't know. Everybody want to do like Valhalla. I even bought into it because I bought that Valhalla reverb, and that's cool too. It sounds good. You can get a whole lot done with it. But yeah, I mean, this reverb in here actually works pretty doggone good. Sometimes I can get stuff done even faster. So with this, what I did was I had the reverb. This is the stock way the thing opens up. You have set the quality set to high. Just turn the decay time up, and I have it set to, I have it in an effects rack. So one of the cool things that you can do is you can make an effects rack so that you can do your reverbs in parallel. A lot of times I do that. So I have the reverb on a parallel track, and I have it side chained. So I put a compressor on here, and I side chain this to the original sound, the dry sound. So if you see, I picked the dry pre-effect. Okay. So this is the same lead sound. This dry lead sound is basically compressing this reverb so that it gets out of the way while that sound is coming through. And then as soon as the sound stops, the reverb comes up strong. So if you watch, you see it pushes the reverb down. Okay, and now the other thing is that I like it. The sound had a lot of bite to it, and the reverb was really coming out strong. So I put an OTT on it. So OTT is basically, if you don't already know what that is, if you go into the multiband dynamics, the stock Ableton multiband dynamics, there's a preset called OTT. If you throw that on some stuff, a lot of times it'll just make it sound crazy and weird, or intense, or whatever. It does different stuff. And sometimes it makes stuff sound better. Sometimes it makes stuff sound worse. It's worth trying to see if it makes your sound better. So I put it on there, and it sounds like this. See, it really brought out that high end and that bite on it. Okay, and then to finish off the sound, I just added a little white noise. So with what's the name of that thing? With Wavetable, you can't really, it doesn't have a noise oscillator. So I just made a new track, and I put operator, and I like operator to do the was it here? Yeah, I like operator to do the white noise because I can make it in stereo. So some plugins or some synthesizers don't let you use the white noise in stereo. Serum won't let you put the white noise in stereo. The white noise will be in mono, and then the other parts of the sound will be in stereo. So a lot of times, if I want to add white noise to something, I use operator, because all you got to do is pick up the spread right here, and now this white noise is in stereo. And I added the same reverb that was on the lead up here, and I cut off that dude. Yep. I did the compressor the same way. I did the side chaining, everything exactly the same as on the lead, and I cut off all of the low end. And I didn't even use the OTT. Yeah. So when you listen to it together, you see it adds a little bit more extra bite on the high end. Okay. So after I got that part, I tried to figure out what kind of bass he had in the song. And it's really simple. It sounded like he basically just had a sawtooth wave, which is what I did again. I took Wavetable, sawtooth wave, down the octave, just kind of messed with the filter until it got to the right sound. And together, it sounds like this. Really simple stuff, man. Not really complicated. Then there was a piano sound in there, and I had to figure out what notes that were being played. And again, with the piano sound, I just was trying to get it to be the way his was. So I put some reverb on it, same type of thing, 4 seconds, really long reverb. When you use longer reverbs, it makes your sound more epic. So it's worth a try to mess around with that, see if it works for you. Let's see here. So then after that, I put the OTT on it again. That it brings out the attack a certain kind of way, and it makes the reverb really elongate. So check it out. It really brings out the high end. It really makes everything really crisp. Okay. Let's see here. All right. So the next thing is I did the piano. I did the bass. Now the drums. Okay. The drums are pretty basic. I mean, it's literally how it's EDM. So it's just 4 on the floor. Okay. So the interesting thing about the drums though is so it's just the kick is on all 4 beats. Just the kick. I just found a kick that worked. You know, all 4 beats here. Then this right here is the hi-hat, which is on all 4 beats at first. And then it switches to this pattern over here. Okay. So in terms of this one, this little instrument thing right here, that's for my snare and a clap. So I heard that he had a clap and it felt like he had a snare in there too. So one thing you can do is you can have in a drum rack, you can put I guess this is an audio effects rack or you can put a rack inside of a rack. So inside of this one sound right here, there's 2 sounds. I put the clap is just a regular old 707 and a snare drum that I found, and you can mess with them differently. So like I put a stereo delay because the clap was in stereo. I delayed the right side a little bit more from the left side. They call that the Haas effect or something like that, and made it so it was a lot more wide. And I cut off a lot of the lows. And is this part of it? Sometimes it's hard to tell. Yeah, okay. So that's on the whole thing. So that's what I did to the clap. Up until here when I put the high pass filter on it. I always mess that up. So now on the snare drum itself, I didn't do anything. I just have the snare drum. So after that, after processing the clap one way and then having the snare be its own thing, now I can affect both of them together. So I put a compressor on it to try and bring out some of the snappiness of it, of both instruments. And then I did, again, the dry with the reverb on a separate channel. And again, it's long reverb tail, OTT. And the interesting thing is that when you have it on a separate channel, you can affect it differently. You can automate it. So there's a part where he automated the reverb to be louder on just like one of the hits. So it makes a send off. And so that's what I did with this. You can see the red dot, and that's what I did right here. So check it out. You see how you can do that? All you got to do is have it on a separate track, and you got so much more flexibility. So you should probably experiment with that if you can. Let's see. Then he threw some haze in there to affect it, and this is just some drum fill I found that's similar to what he did. See, simple. And there's really just one more part to this thing. There's another lead that he plays that goes to let you know that the section is about to end. All right, so let me make sure. Yeah, it's cool. So this sound is just, I don't know what to describe it as, but it's really simple. It's kind of like a sawtooth. It's almost the same thing as the other one, but it has more high end cut off of it. So it's a sawtooth. This one is the higher one. I turned the volume down a little bit. And then, oh, I'll turn the volume down on both. So this is kind of between a sawtooth and a triangle wave. And then this one's just a straight sawtooth. And I think they're in octaves. And then I just put a filter on it, mess with the detune, the unison right here, and then the voices, and then the detune them out. And this is what it sounds. Oh, wait, there's more. There's reverb. I do the same ducking thing I did on the other ones, and an OTT. Cool, right? So I'll just let you hear it before all the effects. It's kind of cool. Then you put the reverb on it. Cool. And then you add the OTT, it really finishes it off. Super dope. All right, so that's pretty. Oh, and then the other thing that actually gives it a sound is the limiter. So I put a limiter on it, so it really gives a sound and it makes it louder. So that's the track. Let's listen to it all the way. Yeah. Dopeness. So if you learned something new, you like what you saw, make sure you hit the like button below. It helps because it pushes it out to new people. That really helps the channel. If you like what you heard, learn something new, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when the next time I put a video out. And I think I got a new song coming out in the next couple of weeks too, so keep an eye on that. And cool. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.